Hello all, and welcome to the Video Game Choo Choo Podcast. It's me, John. Hello everyone. I'm here, and I'm ready to talk about the next generation of video games. Because we're in it. We are actually in the new gen of video gaming. They put out new consoles. And I have one. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. With me this week is Rose.
Hi. Sorry, I was just like, wow, next gen. I don't have the next gen load times on my brain, sadly, so it takes a second.
It's alright. One day we will all have SSDs within us, and we will be moving fast, thinking fast, probably eating fast, having to poop faster. You know, everything will be faster. It'll be terrible. It'll be a terrible way to live. Cyberpunk 2077 out in December, allegedly. There you go. That's my joke for tonight. But yeah, for fuck's sake, I have a PS5 in my room right now, and let me tell you, it's pretty cool. Yeah, I went ahead and got the disc version, so I got the more expensive one, because you know me, the completed box bastard. I need to have my physical media. I like to own things, which is a good idea in that, you know, they can't take it from me once I have it, but it's also a bad idea, because I gotta have it, and I have to put it somewhere, and that's bad. But you know, we live with our choices. I truly struggle with it every day, but it's a necessary evil. But yes, I have played with the PS5 for about 2 days now, because you know I got it. We record on Fridays, as you all know, so I got it on the Thursday of the release. And I played quite a few games on there. Pretty much the ones that you would expect me to play. I'm glad to talk about whatever. Rose, I guess I could start off by asking you, is there anything that you want to know about the PlayStation 5 that I could tell you?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm gonna be real. I'm a very pessimistic, as they say, about these new machines. Are you impressed with it? I guess I'll ask. Are you, like, pleased that you have one?
So, I would say yes, but not in the way that I feel like most people would think. See, I'm kind of bad at, like, gauging time, especially these days. And it's... I also haven't, like, played PS4 very recently. You know, I've been mostly playing Switch games and PC games, so it's a little hard for me to really gauge, like, oh, this game's loading faster, which I'll probably actually sit down and start doing that kind of stuff later, or maybe at least watch some videos, because, you know, that way I don't have to be sitting there and, like, stand up and switch the HDMI port over and over again to see what's loading faster or whatever the hell. Like, I don't need to do that. I'll probably just watch some videos, but you know, the load times are nice. You know, it is nice to start up your PS5 and press a button and immediately be back in the game, immediately have things load back up, and be able to switch between games on the fly. It is very nice. But I'm not wowed by that necessarily. You know, like, it's not anything that I'm saying like, oh my god, you have to go get this thing. And I think at the end of the day, that is my feeling on it, especially, like, you know, it is a bad time to be releasing an expensive piece of tech. And, you know, I'm not going to tell anyone, oh, you should go get this right now. You know, the reason why I bought this is because I basically kind of sort of won a small lottery prize. Like, I pulled an expensive Yu-Gi-Oh card, I sold it, I got a really good price on it, and I used that money to buy the PS5. If I did not do that, I would not have bought a PS5. And I recommend the exact same thing. Like, if you get a scratch-off card and you win $1,000, go get a PS5. Like, that's what I think you should do. If, like, this is an extreme luxury thing that, you know, you should only be getting if you're very financially comfortable, which, you know, every day less and less people are. And also, you also just randomly got a bunch of money. You know, it's not something that I think anyone should get anytime soon. The games aren't really there either, you know? Like,
yeah.
I'm enjoying the games that I'm playing, don't get me wrong, but also, all the games that I'm playing also came out on PS4.
Right.
So...
Or PC.
Or PC, yeah. And, I mean, one of the games that I played didn't, but...
Astrolab Boys?
Exactly. It is the pack-in, like, 3-hour-long game that... You know, that's not worth buying a whole console for. You know, I didn't get Demon's Souls, of course, because I don't like Souls games, and Demon's Souls just especially sounds like it's disrespectful to the source material, which that is not really my place to argue about. I don't like Souls games. This is something that, like, you or Scott or somebody will probably have a lot more to say on. So I think Scott is actually playing it because his roommate got a PS5. So
shameful.
Yeah, I think Scott will probably have something to say about it eventually. But I think the thing that I'm most pleased about is the controller. The controller is as good as people say it is. It is fantastic. I love the adaptive triggers. Like playing Astrobot and doing all those little mini games where, you know, there's like the little gachapon thing where you're pulling a lever and like crushing the gacha capsule, and like it really feels like you're, you know, meeting resistance on things, and, you know, like, you know, using a rocket booster, you're pressing those buttons and feeling the resistance on that. It's so fun, and it adds a lot to the experience. And I mean, hell, like, I'm just picking it up. Like, I just really like the weight of this. This is like the nicest weight on a controller I've felt in a while. Like, you can tell that they just went, yeah, throw some weights in there. Let's make this just feel good to hold, and it's just very well designed. It is a very well designed controller. I like it a lot. This is the thing that I love the most about the PS5 is just the controller, and
I mean, you know, it's an important part. It really is. When I picked up that Switch and the Joy-Cons are whack, I was like, oh, man, this really sucks that the Joy-Cons are whack. So, I mean, yeah. And I feel like there was another controller. I mean, the Steam controller's not very good. And then... No, I think that's about it. The DualShock 3, that's it. When I played the PS3 for the first time, I was blown away how the DualShock 3 just felt like it was going to break in your hands. You know, it felt like it was going to fall apart and just, like... It was creaking all the time, like, and I thought the DualShock 4 was a great controller, but I've only heard good things about the DualSense.
Oh yeah, like, you know, I think the DualShock 4 was great, but this blows it out of the water, absolutely. And then, you know, I would say that the menus are kind of bad on the PS5. You do kind of have to, like, go digging for a lot of stuff. It's not as intuitive as it is on the PS4, but I feel like this is a growing pains thing. I'm sure that people are going to complain about things, which, again, they should, and it will be updated. Like, you know, it's another reason why I would say don't buy this, you know, like, let's wait a year, iron out all the kinks, you know, maybe drop the price a little bit, or, like, get it on sale, like, next Black Friday or something. It's not worth picking up anytime soon. Like, just, this this is me, the guy who bought a PS5, saying you don't need a PS5 right now. Like, it's okay. But I guess I could talk about games. So, what do you want to hear about? Is there a game you want to hear about?
Tell me about Astro's Playroom. It's the only one I don't really know that much about, personally, so...
Okay.
Is this Mario?
So, Astro's Playroom... I mean, people keep comparing it to Mario, and it's... I guess the reason why is just because it has very good platforming controls, like Mario would. It doesn't have, like... It's not set up like a Mario, I would say. I mean, you're running around collecting coins and, like, collecting little, collectibles. There's, like, puzzle pieces to collect, and then they fill in, like, a mural. So, there's a lot less to do than a Mario game, I would say. Like, I haven't played Astro Rescue Mission. I never played that. I don't have a PSVR. So, people were comparing that to Mario 64, saying how good it is. I just thought, this game is like, it's fine. It's good. I've enjoyed it, but it is just Sony kissing their own ass. Mm-hmm. It is, you run around these environments and they're literally called stuff like the GPU Canyon or whatever the fuck. Like, it's, you're supposed to be like basically wandering around the inside of the PS5. Like, the fucking... there's a section literally called the Teraflops Treetops. And I just, like, sat there and, like, I was a little mad, but also I was kind of obsessed with it because of how fucking horrible it is. Like, it's so funny. But the gameplay is solid. You're just running around as Astro doing all these activities. And then there's also, like, little mini segments where you're in these, like, suits, and that is really where they show you how the DualSense works. Like, there's a part where you're playing as, you're on, like, a little spring frog, and so you're tilting the controller back and forth, and then you're pressing the buttons down a certain amount to, like, charge how big your jump is going to be, or you're playing as, like, a little, like a monkey, and you're using the triggers to, like, swing left and right and to grab things like Donkey Kong Jungle Climber or whatever the hell. And you feel how those triggers work really well in those mini games. But like all you're really doing is you're just trying to get from the start to the finish. But you can explore, and you're finding the puzzle pieces to fill up the mural. You're finding coins to roll to stick into the little gachapon machine to get more puzzle pieces. But you're also finding artifacts, which are just 3D models of old PlayStation stuff. Like, you'll find like the memory card or the PSP camera or, stuff like that. It is just that. And also, you're going around these stages and there are just other little robots like dancing and like just being like, hi, you're going on an adventure. But you'll also see a blue-hatted robot recording other robots, and whoever he's recording is always a reference to a PlayStation game, and, it's usually just stuff that you'd expect. Like, there's, like, a God of War one, there's, like, Heavy Rain, there's fucking, that kind of stuff. But they also had things that were, like, not stuff just owned by Sony, like, they actually had, like, a Tekken one, and a Crash Bandicoot thing, and Tomb Raider, which, because, those games were PlayStation games back in the day, so... it's kind of cute to see some of those references. It's pure, just basic nostalgia baity stuff. But I was glad to see the fucking jumping Flash rabbit. Like, oh, that's jumping Flash, ha ha ha. It is what it is. It is a 3-hour long little vertical slice of, hey, this is how this controller works, and it's cute, and it's just got a bunch of PlayStation references, and the final boss is probably the best reference. I really liked that one, just because it's super dweeby. It is not the Polygon Man, but it is very similar to the Polygon Man. It is as deep a cut as the Polygon Man. So, yeah, that is Astro's Playroom.
All right, I saw a little Dante in there at one point.
There is a Dante, and he's he's using ebony and ivory to juggle a clown. So
remember, they put Bad Dante in the game, right? In the Smash
PlayStation
Brothers.
All-Stars, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a choice.
Well, that was because that was the game that was out at the time.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I know. That was a choice.
Still a bad choice. Don't get me wrong, but.
Imagine if they were like the new Mario. I mean, I guess they did do that. Never mind. I was gonna say, imagine if like the new Mario was out and they just put the new Mario in, but they did that with Link or whatever, right? They did literally put Breath of the Wild Link in instead.
They did that, yeah.
Yeah, I forgot. Well, that's a good game, at least.
Yeah. I mean, you know, and I will say all the games that I've played so far on the PS5 are good. So. Okay. You know, but again, you can play most of these elsewhere, and Astrobot is 3 hours, so it's not.
Did you get that Sackboy game?
I did not.
Okay, I don't think you're missing out. Can I drop a hot take for you?
Okay.
Okay, Little Big Planet's cute. Plays like shit. That's always been my take on it. I've never been. I always thought it plays like bad. It just plays bad. That's how I feel about it.
Well, I have heard good things about that Sackboy game. I don't know if it's like
different or.
I mean, I just heard that it was like a 3D platformer.
Okay,
I don't know if it because if it has the same physics as other Little Big Planet games, I won't want it. But if it has different physics, then I might.
Yeah, if it's a 3D platformer, I could see that working better for sure.
Yeah. So. I got PS Plus, so I got Bug Snacks.
Oh shit.
We could talk about Bug Snacks. Niall is not here, unfortunately, so he can't go in on this, but I think he's gonna have a PS5 probably by the next time we record, so hopefully he can be on and we can both talk about Bug Snacks. I won't go too in depth because, you know, I don't want to ruin it because he's gonna be editing this. But Bug Snacks it's different than you'd expect, you know? Like, everyone watched it and came away thinking it was either just going to be, like, a pure cutesy thing or that it was going to be, like, super dark and horror. Like, because that trailer ended kind of menacingly. But the way that I would describe it, and I feel like people are going to be turned off by this, but just, it's the easiest way I could describe it is... It feels like a modern day, like, cartoon where it's one of those, it feels like one of those shows that, like a Steven Universe where it's supposed to be for kids, but it's very much, like, obvious that the writers are making it for themselves when they're in their, like, 20s or 30s, you know, that kind of thing. Which, you know, that can be argued if that's good or bad. But I will say, I feel like Bug Snacks is way better at that, and it's not explicitly trying to be for kids, and it is just like, you know, it's a game about relationships. You are a journalist who finds out about this woman who is an adventurer who, like, she has had successes, but then she recently had a very big failure. And, you know, like, it was, like, basically discredited for her other findings. So she, like, in her last-ditch effort, tries to find the Bug Snacks Island, basically. And she does find it. But people are still kind of ignoring her because of how badly she screwed up last time. So you, as the journalist, are also getting, like, one more chance to redeem yourself. And you go to find her so you can interview her and, like, prove that Bug Snacks are real. And when you show up, her and her partner, who's, like, the town doctor, are missing. And everyone else in the town, like, she like, brings a bunch of people, it's like a settlement on the island. They have all, like, separated because, the adventurer was the only one who was really good at catching Bug Snacks. And so everyone's, like, going hungry because they don't have anything else to eat. And so you basically are trying to bring everyone back to the town and interview them and find out what happened to the two ladies that are gone. And Also, everyone's like a Muppet. They're very Muppety, yeah. The gameplay it's a first-person game, which I feel like a lot of people are surprised about, too. The gameplay is you just walk around and set traps and catch bug snacks, and then certain people will, like, request certain bug snacks, certain people will, want to be fed a certain number of them, some people don't want to be fed, some people just want to catch them, so it's, it's pretty simple stuff, but, sometimes it is a bit difficult to, like, figure out what you're supposed to do to catch certain bug snacks. It is a little obtuse at times. That is, like, the main problem, I guess. It's just, like, sometimes it's a little bit obtuse, but also, if you really bash your head against it, you'll figure it out eventually. And yeah, they just give you a bunch of tools, and the best way to describe it is it's like Pokemon Snap and Ape Escape at the same time, because like it's about catching things, but it also has like a bunch of traps and tools like you would use in Pokemon Snap. But the story is just about like this town and the relationships with all the people. So it's neat though. It's very neat. I definitely recommend it. I don't know how much they're charging for it though. Like, I mean, like a $30 game, that's probably about reasonable. But I mean, if you do get a PS5 and you have PS Plus, absolutely hop on it. It is worth it. It is a fun, cute game, that I like a lot. And I'm maybe like halfway through it, I think. And I know that people are saying that it goes somewhere crazy at the end, and I have no idea. Like, the fact that these characters are eating little bug critters and, like, growing the different foods that they eat on their bodies is already kind of fucked up, but I don't know. I don't know where it'll go.
Did Octodad ever throw a dart?
No, I mean, it was pretty cut and dry, Octodad. It was just like, he's the dad, and he's doing all these wacky things, and he's got to make sure not to get caught by the kind of racist chef that I'm sure that they regret. But I mean, this game is, it's written very well. I like the characters a lot. They definitely are smarter with some of that stuff. Like, hey, the person that you're trying to find is very explicitly a lesbian, like that's way better than, oh man, we're gonna put this Japanese chef and he's gonna sound like a racist person doing an accent, they have done better here, and I really like the writing, like the mayor of the town, who's like this really like shy, like constantly optimistic dude who's like trying his best to keep everything together, but also everyone kind of hates him because he's so bad at his job. I think his name's Philbo. Yeah, Philbo. He's like probably my favorite character. Yeah, like everyone has like fucking Sesame Street ass names, which is really fun. Yeah, which is really funny when they're like yelling at each other about like, this is why your wife left you, Wumpus. Like, it's like it's pretty good, but the characters are really well written, so it still works out in the end. So yeah, it's good. It is definitely good. And then the last thing I did play, I have only played a little bit of it because honestly, I have been mostly playing Astro and Bugsnax, and then I also tested out some PS4 games, which I can talk about in a moment. But I did play a little bit of Spider-Man Miles Morales. That was the one physical game that I picked up. Hey, that game's good. It's Spider-Man, but a little bit better, they improved on the first one, the PS4 one, and it's good. Like that game was good. This game is good.
This is an important question I was really curious about that I didn't see anyone talk about. Is Miles like cop fucky like Peter was in the first game?
So I'm kind of bad at gauging this kind of stuff, just admittedly. He's like, at the very least, I don't know like what people kind of expect, in a sense. Like, he's, beating up the bad guys, and then once they're all, like, taken care of, he's like, yeah, okay, the cops can handle this or whatever, but he's not, like, there's no spider cop shit like that,
okay.
Like, I know everyone hated that, like, he's not doing that. If I remember correctly, I think there was one line where Miles kind of questions, like, how good the cops are at handling, things, because, like, the game starts off and there's, I don't know if people have, like, seen, like, the first 10 minutes or whatever, but, like, the beginning of the game is, like, Miles and Peter, like, helping out with a prison escort, because it's, like, a bunch of the guys that escaped in the last game were, like, getting brought back to jail, and, like, with Rhino and all that, and, they're like escorting some of those guys back, and like Peter's pretty just like, yeah, we gotta get these guys back, and Miles is kind of just like, I don't know why we have all these people, I don't know how good the cops are at just like taking all these guys and like taking care of, like, but like also it's not like trying to say anything too much, but also Miles's mom is like running for a political office because she feels like she's, like people like her aren't being represented, like her and her family, because, she's I think his mom's side of the family's Puerto Rican, if I remember correctly. Yeah. So, she talks about that. So, I don't think it's gonna be like, extremely revolutionary or anything like that, but
I think
it's probably better than the last game.
Sure. The main thing I was worried about is just, like, all the side activities in the first game were, like, stopping really petty drug stuff. Like, just going in and beating up a bunch of guys and being like, haha, Spider Cop stops drugs or whatever. Like, and it was just like, really? Spider-Man's just beating up people selling weed now? Okay. Like,
I haven't gotten too far to, like, start doing any of the big side stuff. Like, the only side missions that I've really gotten so far is, so, early on you get, like, an app, because, like, it's, like, Miles's nerd friend, like, develops an app that just, like, lets people send him requests, basically, to, like, help them out. And I haven't gotten far enough to, like, start getting a bunch of those. And the only thing that's really populated on the map so far is, like, tech that you can steal from the main villain of this, because it's the Tinkerer, who's a real deep cut Spider-Man villain, but like, yeah, and it also seems like another one of the villains is going to be kind of like a tech bro kind of guy who's like installing a bunch of like, he's claiming that it's all clean energy or whatever all over the city, but, who knows how that'll turn out. But I don't even know. Maybe he won't be a villain. I don't know. But I'm this is probably going to be pretty cut and dry, like that, some asshole tech bro isn't going to actually be a good guy. Especially because he seems like he has his own paramilitary organization. So, they're probably going to make him a bad guy. I'm not that far in, though. I don't know. I could see that Insomniac probably got some feedback, and hopefully they're smart enough to, at the very least, like, not have like drug busts and shit like that. Because like, just like, let me stop robberies. Like people that are like doing actual physical harm onto another human being. Like, I don't want to do a fucking drug bust, Like, Spider-Man doesn't need to beat people up over drugs. They need to fucking either leave them alone or, if it's hard drugs, help them get rehab or something. Like, that's what fucking Spider-Man needs to do. Spider-Man needs to swing down and say, hey, you have a heroin problem. Go, let's get you to rehab. Not, I'm gonna kick your ass, like...
Yeah. That was like the one big thing with that game that really just harshed the vibes. Also, the fact that Miles was in that game, and I just think Miles Morales is a way better Spider-Man.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe better is the wrong word. It's just like, there has been so much Peter Parker content in the last 100 years or whatever, that it's just like, do we need more? Do we need more?
Miles is way more interesting just in a modern setting. Like, his problems are way more modern. He's, younger, and, like, his family is more believable. And because, like, yeah, like everything about Miles is younger, like even back in the day, like Peter was, younger, he was in high school, but like his fucking family were two old people,
Yeah.
Like, in this game, like Miles loses his dad, but like
single
his
mom
is
like realistic.
Yeah, his mom is like in her probably in her like 30s or 40s or whatever, and there's interesting conversations to be had about like Miles struggling with his like identity being Spider-Man and also being black and Latino, and his father being a cop, and like all these things that can be like talked about and thought about, and it's all interesting. And you can't do that with fucking nerd-ass white Peter Parker in 2020, And, like, Peter's still a good character, and he's good to, like, support Miles. But, like, I don't think if they make a Spider-Man 2, I don't think they're gonna have Miles be the main character. But, like, Miles will definitely have a way bigger role, and maybe they'll pass it over in 3 or something like that. But, yeah, like, it's... Like Miles is definitely a more interesting character in 2020 than Peter is. But yes, those are the PS5 games I played. I did play some PS4 games. I played some 13 Sentinels a little bit, which, you'll talk about in a bit.
Mm-hmm.
But I also finished the story of Control. I got fucking sick of it. And I just turned on the assist mode.
Valid, that last bit especially I think is a little tough.
It's terrible. The checkpointing is still really bad in that game. Like, even after the updates. I thought that they would make it better, and they didn't. Like, they made it slightly better, but nowhere near enough. But yeah, I mean, I didn't go like whole hog on the assist or anything like that. I feel like I just made it reasonable. Like, I just bumped up the energy recharge a little bit, bumped up the weapon recharge a little bit, and like that's it. And it was easier. And I think at a certain point I did turn on one-hit kills just because I was so fucking done. But like, there's just like little things that game could do to make it just a little bit better. But I guess I gotta turn on assist mode and have them be like, "Are you sure? Are you sure you want to do this?" And I'm like, "Yes, I'm sure, because I'm sick of your shit." Sick of it. I don't know, maybe I'll get around to doing the DLCs eventually, but also I just don't want to keep I don't want to keep doing the combat. I don't want to deal with it.
If it's any no, there's still combat. I was gonna say, if it's any consolation, like the second DLC at least is pretty short and has not that much combat, and it's sort of gimmicky Alan Wake style.
Okay. Like
point lights at shit.
Alright, well, I'll think about it. I'll definitely think about it. Because, hey, at the very least, all the PS4 stuff is just purchasable on the PS5 store.
Right,
so, yeah. It's pretty simple.
I don't understand how I do like the combat in Control to an extent, but it is definitely like made me be like, how did they make Alan Wake, which I really like the combat in Alan Wake, even if it's really basic, like I really think it's fun, and then like it feels like every game they've made after that has not been fun to play.
No, I fully agree. Like, I enjoy the concept of the combat, and sometimes I do have fun with it, but I just think they go way too far with it, and there's just it's too much at times. Like, when you're just in a room and you're trying to take out dudes, and each guy takes like 3 or like depending on what weapon you're using, between 3 to 7 shots to kill. And there's like 7 dudes all coming at you at once, and some of them have rocket launchers, and some of them explode, and some of them are like zipping around and doing all this like psychic damage and shit. Like, it's too much sometimes. It is just way too overwhelming. And then on top of that, if you do get hit, you're expected to like wade out into the enemy area to pick up health, because all the health is dropped directly from the enemies. It's just, there's just little things. There's little tiny things. Like, if if health, like, just came to you, that would fix a lot of things. If, like, your weapon reloaded faster, it would fix a lot of things. If there were less exploding things in the combat, it would fix a lot of things. It dies by a million paper cuts, that combat, because it's so cool in theory. Like, I love, floating around, I love throwing things, I love just throwing up a shield, like, I love all these little things, but, like, it is 100%, like, playing as Jesse, doing the combat is fun. It is just not fun how the enemies come at you. That is how I feel.
Yeah. No, I get you.
But that's that, I guess, for my PS5 feelings.
The next generation.
The next generation is here, and I don't feel too strongly about, but I like the controller.
Yeah,
that's what matters.
What if they just started releasing new controllers and firmware for consoles? I know we had to have a tech upgrade at some point, but I feel like we're hitting the diminishing returns point.
I mean, people keep saying, like, this is probably going to be the last generation, and I mean, I know people said that about the PS4. I'm sure if you go back to listen to podcasts that I was on back then, me or, one of the other folks were saying the same thing, but I don't know. They sound like they want this to be the last, especially Microsoft. Like, I don't know, PlayStation, they might put out a PS6, but Microsoft might just keep making Series. They'll make Series Q or something. I don't fucking know. Series W.
Horrible name, by the way. I feel like the Xbox 360 is an incredible name. They really nailed it. Like, that is a great name for a video game console. And then, like, all of the ones they've done after that have been just terrible.
It's really bad, and just the fact that they, that they made the Xbox One X and the Xbox One S, and then, like, a year or two later, have the Xbox Series X and the Xbox Series S. Like, at least do different letters! What are you doing? It's so bad. It's such a bad idea.
It's not good.
PS5. Oh, one last thing I guess I will say. It is fucking huge. It is so big. It is so goddamn big. It is like 3DO big. It is CDI big. It is huge. Fucking gigantic.
Yeah, it's scary.
I'm worried that I'm going to knock it over. Like, every time I walk by it, I feel like I'm going to knock it over. I'm worried because, like, my room isn't gigantic. I'm a college student. I'm in an apartment. I'm in my bedroom. I'm worried that I'm going to, like, sleep too close to the edge of my bed and, like, not kick it over, because it's so large. I don't know. But yeah, there you go. PlayStation 5, it's here. Hooray.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Wah. Also, I don't know how good the graphics are because I have a 1080p screen.
Oh, well, what's the point? John, don't you know, as a journalist, you have the responsibility to go and buy an 8K TV and,
If someone wants to buy me a fucking 4K TV and also mount it, because I don't have the I'm renting. I can't mount shit. This TV is what I got. So maybe when I move out, I'll get a 4K something or other, but not now. This is what I have. I got a 1080 fucking P. I don't even know if it's 1080p. It might even be 1080i. I have no idea. But it doesn't look bad. The games look fine. They run fine. Whatever. I don't care. I don't need to see the fucking Raymond Tracing does not live in my home. Okay, he is not welcome here for now, and that is what I have to say on the matter. So, Rose,
yeah,
what have you been playing? Let us hear. Okay. Highlights of the previous gens.
All right, let me see. Let's start with a console game. So I started up Mega Man Star Force 3 on my new Nintendo 2DS. Speaking of bad names, new 2DS XL. Sorry, real great name.
Yes,
that is. And so I'm using it on. I actually have the cartridge I had the cartridge somewhere, not anymore. So I'm using it. I'm booting it through the Twilight menu. Did you ever get that set up on your?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, which, I mean, you would if you were being bad, right? But you're not
if
bad.
I was bad, I'm not. Yeah, I'm psychically transmitting my original cartridge wherever it is to my DS right now. Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, I'm playing this one again because I don't think I ever finished it back in the day. It's the only one of those I think that I never finished out of Battle Network and Star Force. Do you know what Star Force is? You know? Yeah.
It's like Mega Man Battle Network, but slightly fucked up.
Yeah, it has a bad combat. It doesn't have bad combat, but compared to Battle Network's combat, which everyone who's smart would say is one of the best combat systems ever made in a video game. So basically, with Star Force, they took the combat of Battle Network, decided to flip the perspective and make it from behind the back, which is a decision, I'm assuming leveraged in, the DS can handle 3D stuff now, so we can do that. And you basically only use, like, 2 sets of tiles, even though they have the full tile set. Still build a deck and everything with the cards, but it's not the same. It's fine. It's totally fine. The combat's still there. They did some weird shit. They definitely were trying something new, because I imagine, making the same game 6 times in a row was probably really boring, right?
Yes.
Like, especially, like, basically 6 years back to back, they made the same game. But combat aside,
right,
it's a fun game. I think it's very much a kid's game, very simplistic narrative structure, very simple things. It's honestly, now that I've been Kamen Rider pilled, it is definitely realizing, like, oh shit, this one especially is very Kamen Rider. Like, Mega Man's always been Kamen Rider-y, but, like, that one especially is the most, like, just like, oh, look, here's the helpful police guy or whatever who shows up, and his name is AC Eos, but you can call him Ace and stuff like that. Like,
yeah,
just, everywhere we go, there's, oh no, the monster of the week is being controlled by the evil organization, stuff like that.
Yes.
Just very, very, basic. But the localization's really good. Like, just people just say shit in that game. Like, I'm trying to think of a good example. Like, when you go to the mall, because you can only go to, like, the path that they want you to because it's a children's game, there's just, like, every time you go near a store, the store's just like, hey, this is where we sell ice cream, but we're closed because there's no more ice cream left in the world, or something like that. And then, like, GeoStyle will go like, damn, who goes to this mall? There's nothing to do, or something like that. Like, just stuff like that everywhere. Like, it's pretty good. The little Mega Man alien who's like, he's a big wolf space ghost thing. He's how you turn into Mega Man in that game. He's hitting on your mom for some reason throughout this whole game, which is kind of funny, honestly. Because it's just like, he's just like, oh, yes, Miss Stellar, I'll take good care of our boy. Don't worry. You're looking beautiful today, by the way. And he's just like, stop hitting on my mom. What's wrong with you? And he's like, well, when your dad died in space, he told me to hit on your mom, or whatever like that. It's just like, okay. Weird subplot in this game. But yeah, it has all the Mega Man Battle Network stuff, so it's pretty good. But I am still struck by, like, man, Star Force is just worse than Battle Network. Like, Battle Network had this really concise, like, I think it's mainly because Battle Network was definitely speculative, but it was still founded in the ideas of what the internet was at that period of time, right? Like, it was just sort of like,
yes,
here's what will happen to the internet theoretically based on this path. So, like, smartphones will become more popular, BBSs will become more crazy, stuff like that. Like, it was like, okay, yeah, this is cool. This is, like, basically executing on stuff that exists. Everything in Star Force is completely speculative in a way that just feels like less considered or, like, based in anything. Like, it just being like, everyone is doing, like, EM waves or whatever, and, like, There's Magic Pat. I think the only part that I really like is that they kept the Mega Man Battle Network thing where someone sending an email is this little guy inside of a computer picking up the email and carrying it to them or whatever,
right.
Which is really funny to me. But it's just like, yeah, it's just all bullshit. The first arc of the game is you getting like plutonium for a school, like an 8th grader's like rocket experiment. You just
what the hell?
Ask the cops to give you like plutonium, and it almost does a nuke bomb because you did that, because the guy inside of it gets possessed or whatever. And it's just like, cool. Why did you give like a 12-year-old plutonium? Like, why?
Because he asked nicely.
Yeah, the guy who wanted the plutonium was named Woody Boffin, which is an incredible name.
That is a pretty good name. Yeah.
Everyone in that game has incredible name. It's a weird game, I guess. It's what I'm saying. It's not as good as Battle Network, but I'm still enjoying playing it. I think mainly because, like I said, the localization is really endearing and funny. I have heard when I did look this up after, because when I tweeted, man, the localization in this is pretty good, some random guy with like 3 followers whose name was like Mega Man or something on Twitter responded to me and said, oh yeah, great localization where they removed half the game. And I was like, what? And I looked it up, and apparently for the Star Force and Battle Network localizations, they removed a lot of stuff that wasn't even like story content. They removed like parts of the game.
Huh.
And it's really weird. Definitely in the earlier stuff, it was because, Japan had a much better infrastructure for stuff like, Pokemon gifting and stuff like that, right? So, like, they removed a lot of that stuff in the Battle Network games. But for Star Force, they removed, like, whole systems. It's really weird. Mm-hmm. But it's, like, fine. There's a lot to do in the game, so... I was struck by old games not having autosaves, though, and lost, like, an hour of progress. So, that kind of sucks.
That's a shame.
But, that's old games.
What else?
Yeah, what else? Let me see. You wanted to talk about 13 Sentinels. Do you want to talk about 13 Sentinels?
Sure, we can.
Yeah. So I got back into that, and I think I got you to get back into that, maybe.
You did. Yeah. I mean, I was kind of telling myself, like, oh, I'll get back into PS4 games once I get my PS5, just because, I didn't want to have to worry about that too much, but also you started playing it, we're like, oh, yeah, no, John, you got to get back into this, and so, two fronts. I'm not gonna say you weren't part of it, but yeah, so how far are you? Because
I am at 50% story completion across all of them, and then 60-something% battle completion, because there's different menus.
So you're further than I am, definitely.
Yeah. I won't spoil anything, obviously.
Of course. No, you're fine.
That game's really good, I think.
It is.
I am like... Something I realized recently is that as much as I like when games have multiple characters, I always think like it's very hard to find a game where they do multiple characters well. Like one of the worst examples I can think of is Birth by Sleep, Kingdom Hearts, where you just play the same fucking game like 3 times in a row, and your progress is reset every time, and the dialogue is slightly different. And it's just like, you have to do this to unlock the 4th one, which is the actual end, like stuff like that. Whereas this is like masterful, like the way that they interweave everyone's like narratives. Like nothing is like, things are repeated, but they're not repeated from the same perspective at all. And there's like, it's giving like background and context for why this happened. And there's like no redundancies, at least from what I've seen, like in what you're seeing. Like even if it's the same scene, it will play out differently or something like that. There's more to it. Like, I'm just really impressed by the way they handle the multiple characters in that game. So who have you played so far?
I've touched the story of pretty much everyone except for I just unlocked the Sukeban girl. Okay. And I think the guy with the hat who has like the sentinel scar on his forehead.
Mira.
I started his story, yeah, but
okay.
I've touched like everyone else.
There are 3 hidden people, I think, or something like that too. Who won't have popped up yet. So, like, have you done Shinonome?
I don't really remember the names yet.
The girl with all the bandages over her.
I guess not. No.
Okay, yeah. So she's. I didn't even know she existed for a while until she got unlocked. I was like, oh wow.
I mean, like I've used her in like a battle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was really, once I finished the prologue of that game, I was like, oh cool, like that they separate the battle and the stories into 2 separate modes, because part of the thing when I started up that game is I was like, man, these battles are the most confusing part, easily, like, of what's going on right now. Like, it's just like, it cuts to that battle and everyone seems to know each other and it's completely disconnected from what you've been seeing, and it's just like, what is going on? You know what I mean? Like, it was just like, and I think you said it when we first talked about this game like a month ago or something, like, battles aren't exactly the most engaging thing in the world. Very, like, basic RTS combat type stuff. But I really appreciate that it's set up into different modes, so it's just like, yeah, you do have to do the battles, but you can sort of do them at your own pace, and you can read as much of the story as you want in the meantime, and stuff like that. And plus them being sequential, I think, in that separate mode makes it a lot easier to understand what's going on, and it has like a narrative that's more cohesive. Yeah, I'm really impressed with how that game has been handling time travel and stuff like that, because I also think time travel is another hard thing to do well. And I think
very much so.
Yeah, and I think the way that they're doing it is really cool, and like, there's so many things going on in that game. There's just so many, but it never feels like overbearing to your mind. You're just like, oh, okay, so that's what this is happening, and that, oh, okay, that's who that is, and stuff like that. It's really cool. I think the thing I like the most is how a lot of the earlier stories are very like, okay, they have the same format or something like that, but as you unlock more characters, they become like different. Like, one of the characters is stuck in a time loop.
Yeah.
And you just have to keep going through the same event or whatever and trying to figure out how not to die, or how to find the information that you need in this one area or whatever over and over again. And that's cool. And then, like, another character, the Sukuban girl who you just unlocked, hers is more detective-based. And she's like going around like trying to piece together what happened to someone, and she has this girl following her who's like, I am your Watson. Oh. And she's just like, leave me the hell alone, freak, or whatever. It's good. I think like each of the characters brings something different. I think it's really interesting to see how every time, like in the early stuff, like I think the early stuff with Ogata, the Bancho boy, he seems like an asshole. He just seems like a real prick. And then, like, later you realize, okay, he's not that much of a prick. And then you play his thing and you're like, oh man, he's just an idiot. He's just an absolute idiot. And there's like a lot of how the differing perspectives can really change how you think of a character and stuff like that. And how, like, you'll think, oh, maybe this person's evil because they were with this character. And then you see them with that character and you're like, oh, maybe not. Maybe that one's the evil. And it's like, it's really interesting how it plays with perspective, I think. I think they really did a great job with it.
Yeah.
It's a good game. I'm so close to finishing one of the stories, and I'm like, oh man, like what's gonna happen when you finish one of them, you know? Like how that stuff's going. Like I'm really curious to see what happens.
Okay. Let's see here. Do you want to do more, or because I know I went hard, so do you want to do maybe like one more, and then I can do like a news thing?
Okay. Let's do Apex Legend. How about that? That stuff that new season started. I'm the only one on the site I think who plays it. So,
yes, I think so. I mean, you know.
I think so. So yeah, as I said recently, I've been into Apex Legends. I think it's probably... I mean, this is my biased opinion, because I don't like the other ones, but I think it's probably the best Battle Royale game, in my opinion. I really like how that game has the light, like, character abilities and stuff like that. Anyways, new season started. They put out a new map. The new map is they said it was a canceled Titanfall map, and I absolutely believe that because it's a lot of like giant hallways and stuff that a mech would go through. Right. It's this cool big floating city where you can fall off of it and die instantly.
That's good.
If you're not paying attention, which is definitely fun for that format, I think, because you'll see people try to do sick moves like use a grappling hook and like swing around, and then they just eat shit and fall off. But yeah, it's a bright and colorful map, which is much better than the apocalyptic vibes I think the other two had. This new season added a Scottish scientist lady who's just Zarya from Overwatch, kind of. She has the black hole thing that Zarya has, where she throws a little black hole and then people get sucked into it. But
so I want her to vanish mysteriously then. Okay.
Wow, is that what you wanted to happen to Zarya?
Well, I played as Diva in Overwatch, so yes.
Oh wow, okay. Yeah.
she was like the exact response to Diva. So.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm just talking shit. It's fine.
No, it's fine. The thing I was worried about was that she would be too strong, like how Zarya was sometimes in Overwatch, and like how like a character who had a more like tangibly offensive ability like that would interplay with Apex, where Apex, a lot of the abilities people have is very tactical and like situational, like, you know, more obtuse abilities, more light abilities. But no, it's not like super strong. You can run out of it. It just is like a little pulley thing. Like you can actually escape it, unlike the Zarya one, if you're trying really hard. But you can use it for a ton of cool stuff. Her other ability is she just shoots out like a gravity lift from Halo that launches you up. And I thought that was stupid for a while, but then I realized how hard it is to shoot someone in the air who's constantly moving. So it's actually really fun. Basically what you can do is you can either like mess other people up by throwing it underneath them and then they get launched and they don't know what's going on, or you can just launch yourself up when someone's shooting at you and then just shoot down at them because it's easy, because she has an air control passive ability or something like that makes it so that she controls better in the air than other people. So you can just like get up there and then you just shoot them instead, and it doesn't feel super strong, because obviously you can still be shot up there, but it's definitely something that makes it a little tricky because, you know, there's a lot of moving parts in Apex Legends. So having that little extra thing is, you know, one more thing. I think they balanced it really well. I was impressed.
Okay. That's good.
On the flip side of that, their Battle Pass stuff that people have talked about was not balanced very well. They have fixed most of it by now, I think. But they basically reworked their Battle Pass system, which was a system I actually was really into originally, the first time I did it, because it was like, you pay to buy the Battle Pass, or whatever. Right. They give you the money back in in-game currency that you use to buy the Battle Pass if you get close to finishing the Battle Pass, which they give you like 3 months to finish the Battle Pass. So it just felt like, okay, cool. I gave them $10 or whatever. It was like, I think it was like $9 or something like that. And then as long as I'm playing the game, I just keep getting that back over and over again, basically. Like, it felt like a good system. And then this time when it launched, it looked like you would have to play like 6 hours a day to finish it, or something like that.
Jeez.
With their original, and they've since admitted, like, okay, the reason that it was all messed up is because we were changing the system. We wanted to change the system because we realized that like the old system was just really, it was just badly done and badly organized, and we wanted to make it more straightforward, which the new system is more straightforward than it was before. But also, hey, when we're playtesting the game, we don't keep the same accounts. We're remaking accounts like over and over again for our play teams and stuff like that, and like constantly wiping for progress and everything. So like we didn't get a good sense of how bad it was, because obviously we weren't paying attention to our battle pass level when we're game testing, right? Like, so it was just like this huge oversight on their parts. They have fixed it since then. First, they made it like halfway better, and it was still pretty bad, but now they've made it a lot better. They ended up turning on double XP also for like a week, so that, you know, to make up for that week where it was bad. Mm. So they responded, you know, they fixed it. All right. But I really will still complain that I think I am worried about their monetization practices going forward. The fact that something like this happened tells me that there are probably people who wanted to intentionally do that there. And like just the way that they have had, like the Halloween event being a thing where you have to pay $40 minimum to get even one skin for someone. Because they only sold them in bundles of $40. Was like, and like they haven't released any new skins to the game in a while. They put out like 3 skins every 4 months or something like that. That aren't paid, I mean, because they keep putting things in like $60 bundles or something like that, which is like a ridiculous amount, you know? Like that's a lot of money for a virtual skin in a video game. I just that sucks. I know it's a free to play game, and I know they got to make the money somewhere, but I think there are just smarter ways than doing that. Like, remember when you used to be able to buy skin packs for a game and it was like $5?
And you just got them all?
You just got them all? Yeah. Like, remember when Minecraft on the Xbox 360 or whatever came out and they had like little 99-cent skin packs or something like that? Bad example, I know, but like that. Yeah. Like, Halo had a map pack that was $5. Like, and on the one hand, like, this new way of doing things where, okay, people get the new maps for free like that, and the monetization comes from somewhere else is a much better way to make sure these games have legs, because, you know, before it was like, hey, no one wants to play Halo anymore because to play the main Halo playlist, you need, like, the new maps or whatever, right? Like, that's where everyone is, and then if you don't buy the maps, there's not enough people, so then the queue times go up, and then eventually it just dies. That's a good way to get around that, but, like, I feel like the trade-off has not been great. I don't know, I don't think it should come at like, oh yeah, by the way, the only things you unlock in this game are $60.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
That's Apex Legends.
All right. So, let's see here. There was some real fucky news lately. All right. So, League of Legends. We talked about the shitty character, Seraphine, that everyone hates for good reason. And there's another reason to hate it, because it's fucking creepy on a new level now. A Twitter user who, I don't know if I should fully name them. Their first name is Stephanie. I guess not just a Twitter user, I guess just an individual named Stephanie who wrote a short article on Medium, claims and has pretty good evidence that one of the folks who helped create Seraphine, or at the very least probably helped create Seraphine, seems to have based it off of her after they had a short, not very serious relationship that eventually fell. It wasn't like they didn't split up under like harsh circumstances or anything, but after this, it's a bit creepy. She showed off that she, like a lot of things lined up that were, that weren't just, oh hey, she kind of looks like me. While she does, in fact, kind of look like Stephanie. Seraphine does look like Stephanie. Pretty similar first name as well. A lot of the promo images that were drawn of Seraphine look pretty similar to images that Stephanie took and like posted on Twitter or on Snapchat or like sent him. there was also a point where the person who she just calls John, talked about how because again, this is a guy who works for Riot, talked about how he wanted to make an awkward Ari costume that was like a nerdy awkward Ari that was based on her. And yeah, which, is kind of weird and loaded in its own way. But then there was also a point where he invited her to visit Riot and had someone draw fan art of her as Ari, who just looks like Seraphine, but dressed up as Ari. So it's just, it's fucked up. It's fucked up. There's even a picture where, like, some of Stephanie's art looks like Seraphine's art style. Like, it's so fucked up. It's so fucked up. She, like, just all these pictures that were taken that were, like, the same thing. Like, there's a picture of Stephanie at Santa Monica Beach, and so there's a picture of Seraphine at Santa Monica Beach. It's so creepy. It's so creepy. They weren't even together anymore, like, it wasn't like he was doing this as, like, a cute reference to, like, a long-time partner or anything like that. No, they, like, dated for a few months, and it wasn't even that serious, and he based a whole fucking character off of her without her permission. As
fucked up as it seems, that's very classics of men, in my experience.
Well, it's still fucked.
It's really fucked. No, I know. I'm just saying, like, I hear about, I've known plenty of other girls who have, like, had boyfriends in college or something like that who then, like, they dated for, like, 2 months and then, like, whatever, like, 6 months later, they're still talking about it like it was, like, this incredible thing or something like that, like it was, like, a life-changing type thing. And it's just like, of course, like, if a guy like that is in a position of power, he's going to do this as his thing, right? Like, it's this is why there need to be more just diverse groups of people in charge of, like, going, hey, why are you doing this when things get made, just because if it's just all these dudes at Riot, which it absolutely is, they just go, oh yeah, hell yeah.
Like, I don't know what Riot would do about this, if anything. Probably nothing. Because, they can just say, hey, it's just, a coincidence or whatever. But Stephanie did say that she is looking into legal action, and, good luck with that, like, legitimately. I hope that she gets something out of it, because they are basically using her likeness, Like, it's fucked up. It's very fucked up. So, Pokemon Home has activated its Pokemon Go transfer ability. So you're going to be able to transfer stuff from Pokemon Go to Pokemon Home, and then potentially transfer that up to, Sword and Shield and all that. But there's a catch, and it sucks ass. The multiple catches suck ass. I'm gonna, let me see. There's like a list of things on Cerebi. Yeah, here. I'm gonna kind of read what it says on Cerebi here. It is, as it is a mobile game, there are some microtransaction-y stuff involved. So yeah, I'm just gonna read exactly what it says in Cerebi. Home can connect to Pokemon Go. The transfer is direct to Home when connecting your Nintendo account to Go. In Go, you can transfer Pokemon using Go Transport Energy to send it across. Once done, you can collect in Home on mobile or Switch. When you transfer Pokemon into Home, the IVs are done in the same... Okay, whatever. The nature of the Pokemon is randomly generated, and Pokemon's level and Pokeball match the one it was caught with. Abilities also random between the two standard abilities. Okay, that's not that important. What is important here is the... okay, click here for full details. Jesus, come on, Cerebi. Get it together. Okay, so... there is a Go Energy Go transporter energy that transports things from Go to home. And this is the rundown of costs here. It is up to 10,000 with a gain of 60 energy an hour. Which, I'm not sure what exactly that means. Like, I don't know how you level up your transfer energy. I guess you might, but there is a finite amount. And so if you're transferring a standard Pokemon, like a regular ass Pokemon, it costs 10 energy. If it is a shiny Pokemon, it costs 2,000 energy.
Mm-hmm.
Which, from what I have heard, is, I think, the cap on your energy when you start. And then as it has more combat points, it adds another 100, or it adds another 300 if it's over 2,000. So that's ridiculous. If it's a legendary Pokemon, the baseline is 1,000. If it's a shiny, it's 10,000. And then they add more if its combat points are higher. And then if it's a mythical, like, Celebi, Mew, Jirachi, etc., it starts out at 2,000, and then the shiny is 10,000. It's ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. But then on top of that, if you deplete the energy, it takes 6 days and 23 hours to restore in full. Or you could pay 1,000 coins, which is $10, to refill it once. That's nuts. That is awful.
Have you looked much into the Pokemon Go economy system as of late? So,
I have heard that it is pretty bad. I haven't seen exactly what it is, but I did see Sarah B. Joe on Twitter was saying some shit about it, which that dude is he is
the Pokemon defender.
He is the Pokemon man. He is just you know what? I'm just gonna sit here and report the news. That's the kind of guy he is. And say what you will. I feel like there should be someone doing that kind of thing just so you can have the information out there. He has been pissed as fuck about Pokemon Go lately, and rightly so, because they just want to milk people for all they can, because, people can't go out there, people can't do, big raid things, so they've been selling items to, make it so you can do things at home, and,
yeah,
you can say, that's a good idea, because, people want to still be involved, they want to do activities while still, quarantining and all that, but they just took so much advantage of this and made it so very hard to do anything. And then they introduced, eggs that you can't just, walk around and hatch the eggs because you can't go outside, But so then they're just going to charge you to hatch the eggs. And it seems so predatory. It's so gross.
It's not good at all.
No.
Yeah, that was one of the big things that was getting me when the pandemic first started happening. I saw a bunch of fluff articles from USA Today or whatever, mainline news sites, Kotaku, stuff like that, where they were just Pokemon Go lets you do remote raids and remote Pokestops and all this other stuff. And as someone who plays Pokemon Go still, knowing, hey, yeah, that's $2 for each one or something like that. That's not them allowing you. That's them saying, oh yeah, you want to play this in the fucking pandemic? All right, pay up. It sucks. It's not good. It's just taking advantage of a situation. Completely. And hearing all this stuff makes me go, okay, so nothing about Sword and Shield has felt good, man. Nothing about the current era of Pokemon, except maybe the anime. I'll give the anime the benefit of the doubt because I think it's pretty good. Mm-hmm. But everything else has just felt even if it has this heart to it at its core, it's just completely covered by this veneer of greed that is just nasty.
Yeah, as the resident Pokemon defender, I agree. I have had fun with Sword and Shield, but it is very much banging my head against that game at times. It is very much like, oh my god, why
it's just inferior, like in a lot of respects to stuff they've made before.
Yeah.
And also the most expensive one that they've ever made. You can only buy that DLC in a pack. With a new one, like $30. Okay, that's just that used to be a whole Pokemon game. That used to be the price of a whole Pokemon game.
Yeah.
That really sucks. It really does suck.
Well, is there anything else you want to talk about?
Yeah, sure.
I'm out of stuff.
Yeah, sure. I started playing Genshin Impact again, finally.
Okay.
I think me pulling those the 2 5-stars that I pulled specifically, really made that game. Whenever I saw people be like, "Oh, this challenging thing" or whatever, I've never had a challenge in the whole time I've been playing that game. I have not been faced with any sort of adversity because I basically use their 2 moves in a row and it just kills everything, pretty much. But I do think that combat system's still fun. I wish it was harder, but I do think it's fun that the way that they were like, hey, there's elements and you do elemental explosion things. Kind of like the Xenoblade 2 thing, right? The thing that we love about Xenoblade, where you do the big combo attacks.
Yes.
Sort of like that, but like in real time instead of sort of turn-based almost.
Right.
And I think that's fun, and I think there's a fun thing. I think there's a lot of fun potential in that game. I don't know if they're necessarily nailing it right now. They've added some good systems in now, I think. They just added like daily and weeklies stuff that is actually like go fight a boss or something like that.
Okay.
Like so that's a little more engaging, and it has like a reputation build up, like a daily quest thing in an MMO or something like that, but I think it's a lot I wouldn't say it's a lot more engaging or anything, but it's a lot different from those because of the nature of that game. I think it serves the format well what they have right now. I really like the second area, which I've finally gotten into, the big second map to that game. Okay. The music's a lot better there, a lot more memorable. I think it's all the Chinese themed stuff. And I haven't done any of the story over there, I've just basically been exploring. But the puzzles are more head scratchy than they were. They have a lot more clearly curated area. It's something that Breath of the Wild was really missing that I really appreciate that this game does, is like the whole second area has people walking around randomly. Like you'll just run into people saying random shit on the street, which is great. There's just like little tiny side quests where it's like, there's this little girl who's asking you to find things, but she's a ghost. Or something like that. Like just dumb little quests you can do. You get to the top of a mountain, and then there's just like statues you have to solve a puzzle with. Like just a lot of like little flourishes to the environment that make it feel more dense and actually lived in. Like there are people living in this world that Breath of the Wild, even though it had settlements, you did not think people were living in that world. At least I didn't. Like I believed that
it is very empty there, and maybe you can say that it's. I mean, I guess we'll see when Breath of the Wild 2 comes out, because, it could be argued that maybe they couldn't do as much as they wanted to because it was on the Wii U and all that, but I guess we'll see. We'll see, especially because, now there could be, a story reason, because they'll be like, well, Calamity Ganon's gone, so people are starting to move around, live in more places. They could do something like that, I guess.
Yeah, I would like to see that, because I was really bummed by the first game. Just being like, hey, no one's anywhere. There's 6 people who live in Kakariko Village, and they don't have shit to say.
Right.
Just real nothing. More flavor in the world is just what I want.
Yeah, totally.
And I think that's what Genshin really has. I'm not going to come here and tell you that the writing is amazing in Genshin Impact. I'm not going to come here and tell you that.
It is.
However, no, especially the main story. But I think a lot of the side stuff is at least fun. It's fun to read. You believe that this is a place where people live. And in spite of all the monsters everywhere and shit like that, there are people living here, and they know that there are monsters nearby. They aren't ignoring that there are monsters nearby, but they're just dealing with it, And that's way more engaging of a world to me than what Breath of the Wild had. I also think just the amount of powers you have are a lot more interesting than the 4 that you had in Breath of the Wild that were just like, you have a bomb, you have
2 bombs.
You have 2 bombs and a time freezy thing and a block. Like, there's a lot more interesting stuff you can do with the... And I will complain, I mean, some of that's tied behind the gacha, though they are fixing it a little. Like, do you remember what Venti could do in that game?
Yes.
Where you can make the little wind stream go up?
Yeah.
They added that for everyone now. Which is good.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it has a 100-second cooldown or something like that.
Okay. I mean, that's better than Breath of the Wild, because, like, you could do that in Breath of the Wild, but it takes, like, 20 minutes to fill that.
Yeah. But Venti can do it every 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Which, it's 100 seconds isn't that bad for that.
Yeah.
But having Venti definitely for a long time before they added that to the game made me feel yucky, because it's like... I got the 5-star character that people try to spend money on, like, immediately starting this game, and he sort of makes the game a lot easier. Like, he makes a lot of the puzzles a lot easier and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But yeah. I think it's a pretty good game. I would like to see them do better things with it. I think they have the capability to, because you can tell that the people who make this play video games. And like video games, as opposed to a lot of other games where you play and you go, these people have never played a video game in their life. But I just worry if the gacha mechanics will end up getting worse or something like that, or if, like, it'll become unbearable after a point. Like, I'm definitely worried, like, if their puzzle design, like how Venti breaks a lot of the puzzles, I'm worried, like, okay, will, like, when they release the rock equivalent of Venti or whatever, will that guy be too strong and have like a stupid little gimmick that they have to patch in an alternative to, like, in a couple months, I feel like with that game, I think like the mistake a lot of people are making with it is playing it every fucking day, probably.
Oh, totally, yeah. Like, everyone talking about how they play that game, it's so obvious that is not how you're supposed to do it. Like,
yeah.
You were supposed to treat this game like every other mobile game. You're supposed to just log in, do your quests, and, like, make a little bit of progress in the story, and then be done. Like, this is a game that you're supposed to have, like, 40-minute to an hour-long play sessions, if that, and people are treating it like Breath of the Wild, where you're just wringing everything out of it, and the game doesn't have an ending, so everyone's hitting the point where they've run out of content because they haven't made more content, and they're like, well, what now? What the fuck is wrong with this game? And it's like, it's not that kind of game. It is it's a fucking gacha game, You have to treat it like it is.
Yeah, and I don't even think particularly, like, it should be considered more like a, almost more like an MMO, honestly, where, like,
it's a bit of both, yeah. Like,
yeah, well,
it's like it's structured like an MMO, but also like a gacha game. It is both of those things combined in a sense.
What I mean though is, like, see, I have ascended in Final Fantasy XIV with the way I play that game, in my opinion, basically, where it is like, I play that game when the new stuff comes out, and then I stop after I did the new stuff. Unless there's something I want to do in it.
That sounds reasonable to me.
And I don't go, oh, well, I have to do that, I have to do this, I have to do that. Like, whatever. Contriving reasons to play the game. I don't do that, basically. I just go, do I want to do these things in the game? Okay, I did the thing in the game. All right, see it when the new things in the game come out. And I feel like if people treat that game like that, it could be really good. I'm worried that they won't, and that the developers will react to people not wanting to play the game like that and make it weirder. Because, like, if you told me, like, hey, every 2.5 months, which seems to be what their plan is for what they're going to do, we're going to release a map, like a new section of the map, I'd be like, okay, sure. Like, I'll come back every 2.5 months and do the new whatever Breath of the Wild zone, explore, get all the items, explore the map, do the story or whatever, and then stop. Like, that's fine with me. I would play that like that. I don't think there are enough games that are like that, really. Like, these single-player type experiences, but everything has to be a forever game these days, and it
really shouldn't be.
I don't want forever games. I want the opposite of forever games. Personally. Yes. Anyways, that's my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I had fun with that.
Yes.
Other than that, I've been working towards the epilogue of Hades.
Okay.
Because I got the credits a while ago now. I'm on like a 20 win streak or something. It's a great game, Sean. I know I've said that. It's a real good game.
Yeah.
It's a real fucking good game.
Mm-hmm.
There's just so much to do in that game. They give you so many reasons to do it. The writing's still great. Combat's still great. For some reason, it took me forever to unlock you get like different forms of the weapons as it goes on. And there's a special final form for each of them that really mixes up how they play in a meaningful way. That's cool. I started getting those. And those are really fun. Some of it really changed the way I've looked at how the systems in the game worked beforehand and go, oh man, this is great. I only want to ever play it like this now. Stuff like that. Like it's a good game. It's a good game. It's made me consider giving Transistor another shot, I think, because I did not like Transistor very much when I played it the first time, but I loved Bastion. And now I'm just sitting here like, oh, man, this game's really good. Pyre was really good. Bastion was really good. Maybe Transistor is good.
Give it another go.
Yeah. But I really cannot recommend Hades enough. Even just watching someone play it. It's great game.
Is
great.
Is a certain VTuber maybe gonna play it or something?
I don't know. Are you asking if I'm going to? Is that what you're asking?
Yes.
I don't know. No, I don't know. I was considering it, but I don't know how well it will run on my streaming setup since I play it on PC.
Alright, fair enough.
Plus, I don't know if people would even want to see a post. I've done most of the things in the game. Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
But yeah, that's pretty much all I've been doing, honestly. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's it for me too. Yeah. Yeah. I just new console.
New console.
That's enough for me. I don't know. Was there any other news? I didn't really look at the other news.
They said Cyberpunk won't be delayed. I saw that.
Yeah, right.
Well, people were spreading because they removed it from the bio of their Twitter account. The release date. But I can't imagine. I mean, they're doing their little news thing tomorrow. Their whatever it's called, Night Runner Live Wire, whatever. I cannot imagine they delay that game. I cannot see it happening. Even if that game comes out like shit, I cannot imagine them delaying it anymore.
I mean, I guess there was a couple of things.
All right.
There was that lockdown at Ubisoft Montreal, which that didn't really turn out to be. It's kind of strange. It was It sounds like it was kind of all up in the air because it sounded like there was some kind of hostage situation and like the police showed up and it seemed like they were trying to like figure out what was going on, and some folks at Ubisoft Montreal were like saying like, yeah, we're safe, but we're like kind of locked down and all that. And some people are thinking it might have been like some kind of swatting, maybe even like someone might have called in to like say that there was somebody taking hostages at Ubisoft. There was some talk like a day or two ago too that there were like some like that Ubisoft might have gotten like hit by a cyber attack too. So this straight up might be some like shitty gamers coming after Ubisoft over something. I don't know. It's kind of weird, but everyone's safe, so nothing really happened. Which no news is good news, I guess, but still pretty scary stuff today.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of I'm scrolling down Polygon right now. I mean,
I saw that they just announced the next Neo DLC is coming out in December, and that they're combining both into a collection for PS5. I think if you already own the games, they just give you whatever version you have for the upgraded PS5 version.
Oh, that's cool.
Which will be at 4K and 120 FPS.
All right, well, sure.
Yeah, I think I'm really glad that unlike other people, they were just like, yeah, you own the game, okay, there it is.
Yeah. There's that Mass Effect Remaster trilogy, which I'm going to have to get off of Twitter for like a week after that comes out.
I am. I'm really disappointed because they didn't include the best part of Mass Effect, which is the Mass Effect 3 multiplayer.
See, that's a take that I can respect.
It was good.
No, it was. It was
Except
good.
for the loot boxes, obviously, but...
Yes. It was fun.
Fun to play?
I've good memories of that, yeah.
If they just threw that out there and were like, hey, you don't have to unlock the characters from loot boxes anymore, I would be like, whoa, all right, let's go.
Yeah.
Get the squad back together.
Yeah. I have good memories of Mass Effect. I don't think it probably doesn't hold up to 2020 politics and, how we've all grown up and all that. Yeah. I mean, but, I guess I'm glad that they're, keeping those games in rotation. It's always good to keep that kind of stuff in rotation, and they're making a new game. They're making a new Mass Effect. So, let's update.
Did they say that?
The new yeah, they did.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah. So, hey, they're doing something. They're doing something. That's kind of it. I'm still scrolling. Yeah. That's it. That's it.
The Twitch DMCA stuff's been happening. That's the thing that's been happening.
Yeah, that is true as well.
You saw the bad tweet they made?
Oh my god.
Where they said, someone asked what they're supposed to do when Cyberpunk 2077 comes out. It has a ton of licensed music next month. And the Twitch responded, just go in the settings and either mute the music or mute all game audio. Which is incredible to say.
Is fucking abysmal in of itself, but there have been, people have been posting screenshots where, them whispering got picked up by the DMCA as, a meditation album, and I saw someone get caught because, their fucking grandfather clock went off, and someone had, collection of grandfather clocks hitting midnight. If Twitch doesn't fix this soon, straight up,
they're gonna die.
Twitch is going to die. Yeah, Twitch is gonna die. It's absurd, and it's because they don't want to make any kind of deals or whatever with record companies. It's obviously the main villain is the music industry, but Amazon, okay, Amazon's the real main villain here, but if we're talking about who the real problem is here specifically, it is the music industry. But the fact that Twitch doesn't want to get off their ass and they can't use any of Amazon's infinite money to fix this, it's bullshit. And Twitch is going to die, and everyone's either just going to move over to YouTube, or someone's going to come up with something else that is just hey, we don't give a shit. Use what you want to use. Our ads aren't going to drill you over the head.
Yeah, because that's the other problem recently is Twitch started pushing the ads out, right?
It was overwhelming, and it was if you have ad blockers, you're just not going to be allowed
more
to watch.
ads.
Yeah, they give you more ads, or they block you from watching. And as soon as you start up a stream, it hits you with a long ad, and it's it supports the stream, and it doesn't fucking support the streamer. It's so money hungry, and to what end? It's just if they just did what they were doing a while ago, it'd be fine, obviously, ads are annoying or whatever, but, this wasn't a problem until all of a sudden, and now it's all happening at once, and it's all horrible.
Yeah, and someone was bringing up a good point that I think, it's really something that, even sports broadcasts on television have figured out, a way to get, the biggest problem with, ads on Twitch is they play them in the middle when someone's playing, and people just lose out. And streaming is a very audience engagement type thing where it is happening in real time. You want to react to things, you want people to react to it, and something amazing could happen in the stream, and oh wait, an ad came up for everyone, so they didn't see it all of a sudden and stuff like that.
Exactly, yeah. Like everyone made the joke of what if Evo Moment 37 happened today, and it was just they'd run an ad in the middle of the combo. It's just we're gonna be missing out on classic moments, and we're gonna miss out on good funny bits and legit shit.
And people were saying there's so many easy ways to get around this if you want. If you really got to run the ads or whatever, do banner ads again, do little in player pop ups or something like that along the side or something like that for a little bit. There's so many ways to do that, and they just don't think about it. Whoever's doing this just didn't think about it. They just go, "Yep, you can put the ads there." Yep, it's a video thing, so yeah, of course people don't mind if you interrupt a live stream of something to do. This is why sports broadcasts go brought to you by, literally,
yes.
That's why they go, okay, halftime, now here's all the ads,
fucking, get these large streamers to, if you want to make a shit ton of money, they should pile that kind of stuff on the larger streamers, if, fucking, Ninja's streaming or whatever, he can stop what he's doing.
He can finance everyone. Yeah.
Yeah, do that. It's killing smaller streamers especially because, you're streaming. You don't have a million followers or whatever, but I click on there and I'm like, oh fuck, I have to sit here for 30 seconds before I can even know what the fuck is going on because it's hitting me with a fucking ad for Pizza Hut where they're like, gamers love pizza, power up your soda with a 2-liter Coke at every Pizza Hut to access the next level of quenching your thirst. And I'm just like, bro, Pizza Hut gives me diarrhea. I'm not buying your fucking product. Leave me alone. It's bad. It's bad. It's bad. It's bad. It's
not good.
And I hate it. Yes. I would at least feel a little bit better if maybe they were giving you money for that, but they're not.
They're not.
You're a small streamer and they don't give a flying fuck. But
Yeah, I think people will definitely move to YouTube. I think because listen, YouTube has 7 million problems to it. It has so many issues of its own. However, YouTube still has an appeal system set up, where generally speaking, people do look at it, and you at the very least you can get a person to look at it and do something about it. If you get a thing on Twitch, just well, fuck you.
And also, it's if something comes up on YouTube, they'll demonetize you, but they won't mute you. They won't. They won't keep you from releasing that content. You can argue. You can argue with the YouTube people and get it. If it's flagged, they can get it unflagged and all that. There's a process. But on Twitch, it's just we're just gonna mute 10 minutes of your stream, so it might as well not exist anymore. This video, you just delete this video. Your content doesn't exist anymore. It's awful. It's bullshit.
And the biggest thing that I saw a lot of people complaining about was that this specific thing happened. Twitch got all of this stuff back in, I think it was May or June or something like that, and they held on to it for 3 months and then just released all of them at once. And they started the system in June, didn't release any of the information, and then all that stuff that built up over 3 months of these mostly trolled and bad, not actually founded in anything, DMCA copyright things just get loaded on everyone, and they have to deal with it. It's great. Awesome.
It definitely reminds me of how and we were slightly talking about how YouTube is better, but it reminds me of how when PewDiePie fucking ruined a bunch of ad stuff for all of YouTube, Adpocalypse,
right,
as they called it, was 100% PewDiePie's fault, and it's just now it's the only people that are always affected by this are the smaller people, it's never the big people, and it's never the corporation, so they don't have to care. It's really awful. It's really, really awful. So, I hope more people complain about it. I hope people, I hope people support folks, but also I hope people aren't using Twitch as much. I hope Twitch, feels it in their wallet, because that's how it's going to change. So, just, it's fucked. Do you want to go into questions now, Rose?
Yeah, sure. Sorry to bring up these.
No, it's important. It's important, and yeah, I apologize for forgetting to write those down, but it is important to talk about. Okay. If you want to send in a question, go to videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com/ask. You can sound like these folks right here. Okay, there's some challenging questions. This one isn't even a question, it's just a statement, but it's a really bad statement, and I hope whoever said it feels bad. Anonymous just says, Gex makes his comeback, but this time he's a VTuber. That might be the worst thing anyone could say. That's the worst concept that's ever existed.
You know what was good?
What?
When they made Rin Tosaka a VTuber for the Fate Extra thing.
Yeah, that was cute.
When they made the remake, and they were just like, "Hey, here she is."
That was good. They could do that. Not Gex though. Gex should be gone forever.
No, I would even accept a Spyro one. Spyro VTuber.
Yeah. Anonymous asks, the Late Street Boys show up to your wedding. Which one of their hit songs do you ask them to play? I don't know their songs. I don't really remember the Late Street. I have a vague memory of the Late Street Boys. I could not name a song that they did.
She's so kawaii. Yuri, the only one for me, is the one.
Okay, so that is the one that you would have them play?
Yeah, of course.
I'm gonna Google them to see if there's any songs that I would choose. Oh yeah, it is spelt with the 3 as well instead of E's. Cosplay Girlfriend, that's a song that they have.
Here, I'm gonna read you some lyrics real quick from
sure.
Yuri, the only one for me.
Okay.
Let's pwn some noobs going PvP. Let's limit break Final Fantasy. Won't try to force you, Twilight Princess. Can't you see? You're my angel out of Tokyo 3. Cell-shaded face in an AMV. Just like Ranma, you're the better half of me.
I felt... My eyes felt like they were getting larger in my head while you were reading that. Like, it was...
So then at one point it says, you and I make Nintendo Wii. And then randomly, the chorus, I just remembered this to the song, is just they say, Sephi's mom has got it going on, referring to Sephiroth.
Okay. The last album they put out was in 2012, but they have done a live performance in recent years. They were at DerpyCon in 2015. Let's look at their Twitter account real quick. DerpyCon, yeah. I'm gonna look at their Twitter account. In 2015, they had a Kickstarter for the 4th album. Let's see how that went. I'm loading that up right now. Let's see how that went. They asked for $9,001, so over $9,000, and they made $2,962.
I really like that.
Yeah, they did put out a single called Pocky Girl. Here, let me turn my phone up a little bit. Let me see if this will play. Okay, hang on. I'm gonna skip a little. Alright, well, there's some fresh licks, and they talk about Pocky Girl. I don't know. I mean, it doesn't seem like I wouldn't know how to contact the Late Street Boys. I don't know.
Well, clearly you have to ask them on the show.
Yeah, what's going on with them? How do they feel about Final Fantasy Remake?
How do they feel about COVID-19?
How do they feel about the way of the world? Yeah, tell us about the election. How's it going, dude?
No, that is the last thing you need to do. I'm not ready. The world's not ready for the Late Street Boys taking this on.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Oh my god.
Feature theme song. I guess they did some theme songs for something? Let me see this. The fuck is this?
Some AVGN tier stuff.
9 months ago!
Whoa!
For a...
Just before this all went down.
Here, let's... Okay. This is a different singer. Okay, well, I don't want the Elite Street Boys to sue us. Let's see. When did this was another Kickstarter. So let's see how this went. This is a Wildfire Ticket to Rock. A kinetic visual novel about a girl who just wanted some free tickets to a local festival but soon found herself in a rock band. They made it. They asked for 33,000 Swedish. This was a Swedish game.
Okay.
I don't know what SEK is, but they asked for 33,000 and they made 34,000. So just barely made it, but it exists. Let me scroll down here. Does it say how involved Elite Street? Yeah, song and text writer Elite Street Boys. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, they did. I guess they did all the music. Yeah, this was last updated October 11th. So yeah, this is still happening. It seems like. Yeah, let's see updates. Let me see what the update was. There's several themes to Wildfire Ticket to Rock, some of which are reflections of the brighter side of life, and some that reflect the challenges we face. Yeah. There you go. They're still working on it. Seems like. Yeah. When did this launch? When was this?
That's a great question.
Yeah. When was this campaign? Does it say when it was launched on here? I guess this is last updated, but I don't see where it started. Funding period. Okay, funding period was in April. It's April to May. So, yeah. All right. Okay. The Elite Street Boys are still out there, and they're helping with visual novels now. So
that's great. I'm so glad.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Shulis asks, "What is your favorite Sonic team, aka Dark, Chaotix, etc.? Alternatively, which Sonic team do you think you would win a fight against?"
You'll never guess what I'm gonna say.
You know what? I know exactly what it is, and I'm just gonna say, me too.
Yeah, Team Dark's the best one.
Yeah, Team Dark's the best because Shadow and Rogue have a really good back and forth chemistry.
Omega's a bro. He's a buddy.
Omega fucking whips. They're just I just think they bounce off of each other really well. They're a good team.
They're fantastic.
I like Team Dark. Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you who we could beat right now. Ready?
Yeah.
Team Chaotix, easy. They'd beat themselves. They would literally fall. They would fall over. They would trip. They would hit a shovel like Sideshow Bob over and over again.
Yeah. I agree. Team Sonic, they would whip our ass. Obviously.
Yeah, probably. I bet Team
Dark, same.
Team Rose also probably.
Yeah.
They would.
They're all extremely powerful. And
they're all insane. Cream. Yeah. Cream would kill the man.
Yeah, yeah. We wouldn't be defeated by Cream the Rabbit. We would be murdered by Cream the Rabbit.
Straight up.
Yeah, and Amy Rose as well. I bet Amy Rose would absolutely destroy us. And then Big the Cat. I mean,
I don't think he'd mean to, but he would.
If we got if our challenging them got in the way of him finding Froggy, we'd be done.
Yeah.
That'd be it.
We'd be done, yeah.
He'd be like, "You're fucking dead. I'm gonna kill you right now. Where you stand is your death sentence." And that'd be it.
I wish there was a Metal Sonic team, because Metal Sonic whips.
What would Metal Sonic's team be? Would it just be Metal Sonic, Eggman, and someone else? I don't know who else would it be.
Who else would it be?
Chaos or whatever. That new villain from Sonic Forces or some shit.
Oh, fuck that guy. He sucks.
Wow. Okay. I'm gonna say the fucked up thing.
Yeah.
It would be that guy from Sonic Lost World that they put in everything.
The guy from Sonic Lost World?
The red dude?
Oh, Zork? Zach? Is that Zingo? I don't know.
It would be that. It would want it to be that, but it would be that.
Yeah, probably.
Anonymous asks, why is Ubisoft so convinced that people love Aiden Pierce and keep bringing him back for every Watch Dogs sequel?
That's a great question.
It's because he's iconic. Have you seen him?
It's just
Watch Dogs rang in the new generation. Aiden Pierce was there for the PS4, okay? So he was the start of the next gen, and he's there for the end.
It's really strange to me because I feel like people like genuinely liked the Watch Dogs 2 characters, I think. So it would have made more sense. Like, did they put the Watch Dogs 2 guys in there at all? I don't think so.
So I'm not super well versed on what's going on with Watch Dogs Legion, but I think Aiden Pierce is going to be in like the first DLC, and I think maybe the Watch Dogs 2 characters are going to be in the second.
Okay.
One. So,
right. But who wants this?
It's the kind of thing where it's like, they're just going to bring back all the old characters so they can like be in your party or whatever, which, that's fine. But it's just, the first one they're doing is Aiden Pierce, and everyone's like, what the fuck, who cares? But I'm sure once they do the Watch Dogs 2 characters, people will be like, oh yeah, no, that's cool. So, it's just because they're advertising Aiden first, because he's the first DLC. At least that's what I'm guessing. I don't know for sure. I'd have to... let's look that up. I'm doing a lot of Googling on this episode. If my phone will load. Okay. Well, let's see here. Watch Dogs Legion DLC. Let's see. Legion Season Pass and Year 1 content. Yeah, sure. Let's see it. There he is. There's Aiden Pierce. He's got a beard now. Yeah, there's that. New hero characters. Okay. Alright, so... Yeah, alright, yeah, okay. Oh, okay, so yes. The season pass is... It's actually gonna have... It's gonna have Aiden Pierce and Wrench from 2.
Okay.
They're working together, so... Yeah, okay. So they are bringing back characters from both. It's not...
Alright.
Yeah. Okay, so... I don't know. It's... Yeah, I just think that they want to bring back the character from the first game. And, that is like the real reason is just because he was the main character of the first game. So, that's why. Even though he's
the beloved first game.
Yeah, even though nobody really likes the first game, and the one that people like is the second game. Whatever. Alright, and last question. Again, send it to videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com/ask. It's from Harlequin Wheels, who asks, what's something that happened in a game cutscene that you wish you could do during gameplay? Or something that happened in a cutscene that you are impressed you could do in gameplay too?
Okay, so this is for the second part, something that happened in a cutscene I was impressed you could do in gameplay too. In Devil May Cry 3, the fact that you can actually do the Dante surfing on the body around on little enemies or whatever, I straight up didn't think you could do that in the game, and then you can, and that blew my mind when I was a child.
Yeah,
because that's cool as hell. Like, are you kidding me? Like, that's crazy, and you can just do it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, Devil May Cry is just the end. Like, it just Devil May Cry, period, is the second part of this question. Because it's just like, oh yeah, you think that, like, flying around on your rocket arm in DMC5 is just something you would do in a cutscene. No, you can do it in game. Like, all of this, like, that they show you cool shit in those cutscenes. And, some stuff in that game you can't do. Like, the cutscenes are very specific.
Yeah, like Virgil boomerang sword stuff. Like, you can't do that in the game.
But a lot of it you can do. And that's really cool.
Yeah.
What's something I wish I could do? I mean, I feel like when I think about something like this, it's oftentimes I don't think about things that I wish I could do, but it's more like I feel like these days games, instead of making you wish you could do something, it is I did something really cool, I defeated the enemy, and then like something happens in a cutscene that makes me I feel like that's more prevalent these days.
For sure.
So it's kind of hard for me to think of that.
I had one another one for the second one. I know this is basically saying the same thing again, but I did appreciate when they made Bayonetta 2, how they were like, in Bayonetta 1, every time you beat a boss, you do all these crazy, like, summoning demon stuff. What if we just made that your devil trigger in Bayonetta 2, and you do all that crazy stuff? Like, that was definitely a great change that they did.
Yeah.
But man, game cutscene. In Final Fantasy XIV, they do this thing where you make this like superheated weapon to kill certain enemies, let's say, in cutscenes, and I wish you could do that in the game because it's really cool to throw this massive like thing that explodes on people and just ices them. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you know, I think maybe like in older like RPGs and stuff, you think of all the cool shit you do in cutscenes, but you're just kind of picking them from a menu.
Yeah.
That's probably something I would say. But, you know, you look at like Final Fantasy VII, you know, you think about all the things that you did in Final Fantasy VII that were just like, you know, choosing from a menu, and then you can actually do them in the remake.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's just how it is, you know, like as games get more complex, you can do more things in them, and that is very cool. But, you know, I mean, there's pros and cons to that, of course, because, you know, things can become too complex, and you can kind of lose the soul of it. But, you know, a good game knows how to balance it and how to progress without being irresponsible. See? Thank you so much, everyone, for sending in questions. So, you know, I'll do the usual preamble, or post-amble, I guess I should say. But, first off, I'm just going to put something out there. And it's not something that we are going to be doing anytime directly soon. But, it is something that we talked about for a good while. And it is something that we really want to do. We are going to be, sometime in the future, changing the site's name. Now, again, this is not something that we're doing immediately. You know, we want to get through, like, Game of the Year and some other stuff first. But we were talking, and we kind of felt like being called Video Game Choo Choo for almost a decade now, maybe a little over half a decade, I guess I should say, so a little over 5 years. It's a fun name, but we are, and we don't want to lose that fun, you know, we don't want to lose what we are, but we want to more properly present what we are. We want to present that we are a game website that knows how to have fun, but we also want to be able to talk about serious things, you know, like I like Rose is right here, you know, like, Rose, you write all kinds of very thought-provoking, really well-thought-out articles, and it, you know, it kind of undermines them to be like, here's Rose with her really powerful, thought-provoking article on the video game Choo Choo, you know, like, it doesn't help us out. So, that is something that we're going to be doing. Probably going to, like, you know, mess with the branding a little bit, you know. I don't want to just erase everything. I don't want to make this, you know, we're not going to make this overly dumbed down and, you know, like just streamlined and make it look like a fucking ride share app or whatever. But we want to be a little bit more mature here. You know, like like we started this website when I was still in high school, and now I'm about to graduate college. And, you know, a lot has changed for me, for us, for the world, and I think we should upgrade that. So, you know, we have picked a name, and I'm not going to say what it is. It's not exciting, okay? Like, don't.
It's not thrilling stuff, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's you're not going to be like, oh shit, oh man, but you know, it's something I feel like we had to do. So, I guess look forward to how the site will look, at least. You know, I do want to fix things up. You know, there's still a lot of things that we need to do to make, like, you know, we need to make the site professional as well. So, also, if you're listening out there and you are a web developer, please get in touch. We need somebody who is talented. We will pay you, but it's something, if you know WordPress and you can make this very tight, very organized. And we should also probably have someone who is like a graphics designer as well. We could use a graphics designer. But any of that, just please hit us up. And that's pretty much that. I'm excited for it. You all might not be, but I'm excited to patch yourselves up a little bit, I guess. I don't know. I'm sure you're looking forward to it, Rose, so we can present your work and not make you look like a fucking clown.
Oh, no, it's fine. I think, everything you said. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, for now, you can follow us on Twitter at VGCC. You can follow us on Tumblr at videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com. You can follow us on Facebook. We have a Facebook page. You can follow us on YouTube, youtube.com/c/videogamechoochoo. I made sure I looked at that, so we got that. You can come join us on Discord, which is you type in thegamezone.zone. You type that into your web browser, and it'll bring you straight there. And I'm sure that won't change because, thegamezone.zone is eternal. Yeah. Of course, thank you to Melt Channel /Magic Circuit for our theme song Crush off of the album Magic is Real. If you want to listen to their stuff, it's meltchannel.bandcamp.com or magic-circuit.bandcamp.com. And, if you want to buy their stuff, any time is fine, but probably the best time would be the first Friday of every month, because that is when Bandcamp Friday is, and they'll get all of the money from it. They'll get the full revenue share. So there will be, that's a good time to buy music in general. First Friday of every month. And of course, if you want to give us money, you can go to patreon.com/VGCC. And I will say, the one thing that I'm a little upset about is that we are going to be losing patreon.com/VGCC, because that is just so slick that I'm kind of shocked that nobody did that yet.
Yeah.
But that's okay. With progress comes sacrifice. But yes, give us just $3 a month. It is $3 in total a month, and you will get access to all the stuff that we do that's not the mainline things a whole week early. Get Choochgatry Unlimited Train Works, which is Rose and I and LV talking about anime every 2 weeks. We have our Starlight Car interview podcast that, we do every once in a while. That's something that we like to do. Hey, if you want to hear us interview somebody, tell us someone you want us to reach out to. We'll try our best. And other stuff, we have videos coming out. I think there is something that might be coming soon. I'm not 100% sure when that'll be, because Scott's putting that together. But, if you want to see it, just get on Scott's ass, I guess. Because, honestly, I want to see it. I want to see what Scott does. Scott's a very, very good video editor, so I'm looking forward to seeing that get put together. But that is it for Chooch. Rose, where can we find you?
Twitter.com/horngal, or on the Twitch, or potentially YouTube. Just go to Twitter @CurryDraco for my Twitch stream stuff. You'll find whatever the hell. Who knows if it'll be Twitch for much longer with how they're going, but you can find the stuff there. CurryDraco.
You can follow me @JOHN_MICHONSKI on Twitter. And that's it. Thank you so much for listening. And we'll be back next week with another episode of the Video Game Choo Choo podcast. So long.